Tender, and we work here in London and across the UK. So we work with young people, and we work on promoting healthy relationships. And that's not just because we want everyone to have healthier, happier relationships, but because young people are experiencing quite high levels of violence and abuse. And the more that we work with young people on these issues, the more that we recognize the depth of those problems here in the UK. So just a few statistics from an NSPCC study that was done recently, it was last year. They found that in interviewing teenagers, 1 in 4 young women and 18% of young men had experienced physical violence in their own relationships. So that's 13 to 17-year-olds, 1 in 4 young women, 1 in 5 nearly young men have experienced physical assault from their own partners. So if we raise £1,000 tonight, it will help us to challenge young people on preventing this issue. So we use drama at Tender, and we use drama because it's an excellent tool for exploring abuse, but crucially, it's a brilliant, very powerful tool for identifying solutions. So with drama, young people can rehearse the reality of relationships. They can look at what, in a very concrete way, what we mean when we talk about the early warning signs of abuse. They can step into the shoes of the victim, they can develop empathy. So, my notes. So they can also then, the work builds. So we look at exploring these issues, and then young people can try out their own solutions for stopping these issues. So they can practice it, they can see what works, and they can really experience what it means to be in a healthy relationship. Because for a lot of the young people we work with, they can't actually find the words to articulate what a healthy relationship means. And most young people, and I say most that we work with, and we work across the board, so it's rich, poor, local, from out of town, most young people feel that violence can be justified within a relationship in certain circumstances. So we work on challenging that. So we've worked in about 160 schools and youth centres across Greater London. And during those workshops, 2 issues kept cropping up. One was sexual pressuring in relationships and in peer groups, and the other was sexual violence. And young people said they wanted to make a film about these issues, to share these issues and get other young people engaged in them. So we got on a team of professional filmmakers, teamed them up with some young people, and we created a film. So we've just finished that in February. And it's an excellent film. I can't show it because it's 20 minutes long. But it's a very powerful film, and it's about violence, it's about sexual exploitation in young people's peer groups. And so what we want to do is, if we raise £1,000 tonight, we want to take this project, this film, outside of London. And when I say this project, there's a workshop that goes around it, and there's training that we do with adults who work with young people. So with that funding, we would work with 30 young people. We would train them to be ambassadors on this issue, and we will train up the adults who work with those young people. And what we will do then, the main aim of that is just to break open these issues and to talk about them, because so often they're not spoken about until they become a crisis. And in particular, what it's going to enable us to do is to signpost the help, where young people can go for help, because often they don't know, and to expose the early warning signs of abuse. And what the film does so well is that it looks at the reality, it shows the reality of these issues in young people's relationships. It's a very realist medium. And so we want to use this film to work with young people to develop skills to keep them safe for the rest of their lives. So thank you very much for having me here, and please be generous, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.